Yeah, I guess, Kevin, as you analyzed what happened on Saturday, and I guess an extension of the whole season, but other than teams being able to run the ball well against you, what isn't happening as far as generating a pass rush right now, especially against a team that dropped back as many times as they did?
I think, as we go about and try to figure out what we need to do better, I think when we look at our scheme and what things we have to do to generate pass rush, we got to try to find ways to do so with the guys that we got, So, I think as we move forward throughout the course of the year here, we got to the quarterback at times. It was just too late, So we got to heat him up a little bit more, I think, and we got to find different ways to do so. And the big thing for us is getting people off track and then being able to pin our ears back and go. So we got to. It starts early downs. We got to do well early downs, and then obviously when it gets to third downs, have some fun with it.
When you look at what led to Kendrick being able to make some plays and get the ball on Saturday, is there something that other players on this defense can take from his approach, his awareness in those situations to start making plays themselves?
Yeah, like when we walk into our building, we have a sign like when you walk in. Rule number 1 is do your job. So like. For those particular plays, Kendrick is a man-to-man coverage. He covered his man, and he was able to, on one of those plays we got pressure on the quarterback. Winston Berglund was at the legs of the quarterback, made him hurry the throw, threw the ball behind him, and got a pick out of it, right? So, we're generating pressure and getting interceptions off of it. So we got to continue to do so. And then I think that's just, obviously the ball, one of them was tipped up in the air and he was able to get. So it was like, all right, boom, there we go. We're in the right spot, right time. And more of those things will continue to happen, and it's just effort to the football and guys getting to the ball. And when the ball's in the air, we got to make the plays. So I think that's a good start. Obviously it was a long past due, but we're able to kind of get the monkey off our back, so to speak, and hopefully it continues to trend forward.
What's your message right now to those players who are committed to future recruiting classes here right now, as the things are struggling on the field right now? What are you telling them about where this can go?
Yeah, just trust the process and what we're doing here. I think, the track record of Coach Walters and myself and what we're able to do, I think it speaks for itself. We've been able to win a lot of football games and play a lot of good defense along the way. So, this is a hitch in the road right now, but stick with the plan, the progress that we're going to continue to make, and we got to obviously we build relationships with these guys and the families and just trust in what we are doing here, and we're going to continue to build this thing up.
Ryan kind of alluded to it on Saturday, making some more tweaks to the scheme, put guys in better positions. What tweaks can you make to do that?
Yeah, I think, obviously with the guys that we have available to us, we got to be able to put those guys in the best positions possible. And we spent a lot of time yesterday looking at our personnel, and as far as, all right, who do we have? And then 2, all right, what's going to allow them to have the best success? So, I think we just got to continue to look at, all right, what's going to pose offense's problems in the future? This is what we do. We know what we do defensively is unique, and we got to continue to sharpen that tool and be better with it.
Looking to Illinois, obviously last year you guys did pretty well against them defensively. What all can you take from that performance last year and bring it into this year?
This is it's a rivalry game. I think guys have a certain edge about them during this game. The cannon and everything else. So I think whenever there's a rivalry game involved, there's going to be a little bit more, pizzazz, a little more oomph in their step. So, but they're a good team right now. They're coming off a Penn State loss, but they're a confident football team. They're a well-coached football team, and we have to go out there and match the intensity. I think. All bets are out in these types of games. No matter what's happened in the past, we got to look forward to what's going on in this particular moment because of it's a rivalry game. But you look at the quarterback's a confident guy right now. He's got two good receivers out there that he can throw the ball to, and they got 2 big running backs, and they mix in a couple speed guys along the way, and just knowing Coach B and what he wants to preach and do, that's what they're doing right now. So it's going to be a fun game.
Coach, as you go through, this string of adversity, what's something that you've been able to relate in your own life experience and share that, with your players as, you go through this stretch trying to get the wheels back on the track? Yeah,
I think, football is a great equivalent to life sometimes. I think, tough times never last, tough people do. That's one of those classic quotes, but, I firmly believe that we're in this position for a reason, and And I believe in myself and our staff and our players that we can fix this. You know, I firmly believe with the history that I've been able to do things, and I trust our players. They're confident guys, and we just got to get them to play. And our job as coaches is to put them in the right positions. So, you know, I think we've all been through adverse times in our lives, and whether it's a family member passing or getting benched in high school or whatever, there's always that moment where you can relate to this. And I know this. I woke up today, so today's a good day, right? And every day, the sun's going to come up somewhere, and we have to learn from the past, but we've got to move forward and be better in the future.
Obviously, your system is man-to-man predicated, but when you guys do go zone, have you identified anything on the back end that needs to be better? Yeah,
I think so. I think obviously certain route concepts we have to be able to identify, and we got to squeeze zones a little bit better. I think in terms of like guys coming out of coverage, we have to stay in our zones. We can't vacate a zone to go after the quarterback and throw it right behind us. I think like let little things happen. Like let them throw a check down. Let the quarterback scramble for a few yards. We'll come up and tackle it, but not give up the big play behind us. And I think we got to continue to stress that. It showed up last week, and we have to fix it. So. I think we have got to be able to play zone to help us out, and I also think that with what we do defensively, we still got to confuse the quarterback and play man and zone. So, but yeah, I think like you hit it on the head, we have got to be with our zone eyes and breaks on the ball. We got to be better.
Kevin, looks like we're seeing more of KJ up front, a rush end, and then talk about that a little bit, and Dylan too. Moving forward, the plan for him as far as where we can find him on the field.
Yeah, I think certain things have forced us to put certain guys in certain positions, whether it's injury or just putting our best players on the field. So, I think KJ has a comfort right there at that edge. He does a great job for us. And he's also still playing at that cylinder backer in certain times of the game. So. When we put those guys in those positions, they gotta go out there and execute those jobs. And I think KJ's gotten better every game. If you watch what KJ's been able to do with putting him back on the edge and playing in that cylinder, he's making plays. So I'm excited to see where his progress has gone. And then obviously we've had some injuries on the back end that's forced us to kind of move DT around a little bit. He's one of our best players, and we got to get him around the ball. And so it's what we got. We got to put our guys in the positions we think we can help us win the games.